Howdy folks, Frankie Day here. Okay guys, it's Monday evening. I was working on the USS Alabama, so the topic of the video is update build report number 1 for my Trumpeter 1/350 scale USS Alabama BB-60. I got the Princeton over there, still drying, and I'm working on the armament. And since I had the armament all done, I'm going to start paint. I already got them all painted up, so I'm going to go ahead and install them on the model and do my rigging and a few decals and work on my air group, and it should be done. So I figured I'd have it done today, but as far as I got, just the armament. So like I say, fellas, ain't no foot race. So I'm jumping on the Alabama, and probably got the drum coming up this week I'll be working on. And that'll be that. Okay, fellas, before we show the first update review of the Alabama, there's a couple good fit issues in this kit, though. I was very dissatisfied about it, and so I made it happen by correcting the same, and now I'm happy. Anyway, anybody that got this kit, I want to henceforth, if there's a flaw between the bottom hull and the top hull, because once you would join the bottom hull to the top hull, on the outside of the freeboard from the water line all the way down, at least it's a lip. You can feel it as you go up, it hits the lip of that outer, of that top hull portion. So what you got to do is you got to sand it down to its flush and use filler. And you shouldn't have to do that on a kit like this. But that's issue number 1. Issue number 2 is on the middle section of the deck assembly, which is the 01 level. The 01 level is slightly oversized, because once you put the decks in position, it's slightly oversized. So you got to kind of trim out the ears a little bit by probably 1/32 of an inch, and it'll fit nice and flush, and that seam will actually disappear. It's hardly noticeable anyway, because it's supposed to yay much, you know. That can be seen, and once you put the gun toes out like that, you won't see it at all. It'll be like a continuous deck. Maybe one of these days, Trumpeter will engineer a good ship model with a one-piece deck instead of 3 pieces. Okay, guys, that's taken from the inbox review. I went ahead and did some sanding, got the hull all sanded down, and used wet and dry sandpaper and a sanding stick. Gave about 2 coats of good primer. After the primer was done, I went ahead and got the decks on there, and the decks are all nice and even and straight and clean. And I went ahead and primed the same. Went ahead and masked off the water line and painted it red oxide. So after this video, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mask off the water line and paint it haze gray. And I got all the parts of the parts trees inside the kit itself, out of the baggies. I got it all laid out, so they're already been primed already, so I'm going to go ahead and paint it haze gray too. And the deck's going to be instead of be 20B deck blue, it's going to be like a navy blue, before they went to the darker shades during the latter part of 1942. So the deck is going to be more or less like a 5N, like a light sea blue, and it's going to be actually like a stain on top of the teak wood, all similar to that of my Princeton. Okay, guys, enough chatter. Let's go over here and swing over and take a look at the USS Alabama, and I'll show you how much old Frankie Day got on her. That's about as far as I got there, fellas, right there. I got the whole deck assembly on there on top of the hull. This right here is the 01 level. On this 01 level right here there's a problem it's presented in the kit because it's oversized. Right here there's a lip right here and a lip right here. As when you lay this assembly down, it overlaps the top of the foredeck and the aft deck. So what you got to do, you got to trim off just a little bit of those ears off there where it's adjacent to the fore and after deck. It'll be nice, and it'll be a nice good fit, and it'll go on there without no problem. I ain't too worried about the overspray and red primer on here, folks. I'm going to reprime this deck anyway. It's all primed, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and mask off this water line. Paint it haze gray. All haze gray around this area here. When it dries, I'm going to mask it off using tape. Same thing around the forward barbette of the 16-inch turret. And over here, I don't have to worry about too much about over here, fellas, because you got pieces of the superstructures I glued inside here, which actually fills the bill. And they already pre-primed and pre-painted already. All you got to do is seal it to it, and you're done. And so once the hole's all, it's all masked down and everything, I'm going to go ahead and airbrush some teak on it up to here. And I'm going to mask this off here and paint this the blue color, which is this right here. It'll be this color. This color is more or less, it's a 5N. It's an early deck blue, blue-gray. And the latter part of 1942 went more or less to a darker color of like this color here. So I can either, I might just go ahead and just use this, make a nice wash out of that, top of the teak, and fill it in. And it's going to wear a modified measure 12 paint schedule. It's going to have the irregular patterns of dark sea blue against the haze gray. And once it's all dry, I'm going to give it a nice wash, a nice orange wash over the gray. That'll give it it'll tone down the haze gray into a almost effective rust of wear. And put the boot topping on here. It's a pretty simple kit to build, fellas. It's a lot more simpler than that dragon kit I got. So that's about as far as old Frankie Day got on the USS Alabama. So right after this video, I'm going to go ahead and prepare same. And go ahead and mix up a batch of haze gray paint, mask her down and go at it, and let it dry overnight. And tomorrow I'll start making patterns for the hull, and the build will follow. Okay guys, that's about as far as I got. So anyway guys, everybody's got this kit. When you glue that bottom hull up to this top hull right here, there's a lip across here. It overlaps up this way. When you run your fingernail against it, you can hear it clipping because it's overlapped. It's got to be all sanded down, real smooth. Then you use your filler of your choice and fill in any gaps that are presented. In this case, it had a couple of gaps here and there that need to be filled in, but it wasn't no big deal. So I got it pretty well down to the pattern of primer and also the finished red oxide waterline, and the paint schedule will follow on it. Modified measure 12, 1942. Okay guys, we'll bring the camera over to yours truly. I'll finish up the video and give you guys a rundown what's shaking for the week. Yeah, here I am, fellas, here I am. Okay, that'll be that. That concludes video 1, the build update, number 1 for my USS Alabama winter build. And so I'm going to resume back on after I get this hull all masked off and painted tonight. I'm going to go ahead and start installing the armament on the USS Princeton. I should have the final reveal of the Princeton either tomorrow or be this Wednesday. It'll most definitely be this one day this week for sure, for certain. I have a very bad habit of putting the cart before the horse, so like I say, I keep on thinking I'm on a rush period and I want to rush these things at the cost what you pay for these things. Equal time should be measured. So one day this week, be either tomorrow or Wednesday, I should have this thing done, and the Alabama will follow. Okay guys, that would about do it for this week and everything. And so I should have another update after the Princeton of the Alabama, probably this Thursday. Would be a good day for an update for the Alabama. So that video will follow also. Right now it's snowing out there again. I woke up this morning before I went to work. It was 5 degrees. Very, very bitter cold. And roads were satisfactory. They weren't at their Sunday's finest. So any fellas out there who live out here in the Midwest, or any out there where the snow belts more or less passes through, you don't know what Frankie Dave's talking about. So So be careful driving those roads, fellas. You're going to watch out for black ice because it'll get you and you can really be in a world of hurt. Okay, guys, this is Frankie signing off. I'd like to thank everybody for your wonderful comments and make Mama happy. And please subscribe and stay tuned for the final reveal for the USS Princeton. Frankie signing off. Bye, boys.